Alex stood outside Hamad International Airport in Doha, Qatar. The morning sun made the white buildings shine like pearls. He had heard that this airport was just voted the best airport in the world in 2025. Now he was about to see why. As he walked inside, the cool air and soft music welcomed him. Everything felt calm and peaceful. The floor was shiny, the signs were clear. People moved quietly with their suitcases. Alex looked around. He saw many luxury shops. There were stores with designer bags, watches, and perfumes. He smiled. This looks more like a 5-star hotel, he thought. Then something big caught his eye. In the center of the airport, there was a giant yellow bear. Its head rested on a desk lamp. It looked strange, but also kind of cute. "That's the lamp bear," Alex said, remembering a travel blog he read. "It's a famous art piece." He took a quick selfie with the bear before moving on. Check-in was fast. The staff were friendly and helpful. Alex printed his boarding pass, dropped off his bag, and passed through security with no problems. Before heading to his gate, he sat down in a quiet lounge area. The seats were soft, and he could see airplanes outside the big glass windows. A piano played gentle music in the background. "This airport is like a dream," Alex whispered. "If this is just the beginning, I can't wait to see what's next." He picked up his backpack, checked the gate number, and walked toward his flight. His journey had just begun, and it was already unforgettable. After a smooth flight from Doha, Alex arrived at Singapore Changi Airport. The air felt warm and humid as he stepped off the plane, but inside the airport it was cool and fresh. "This is Changi," he whispered with excitement. "Second best airport in the world. Let's see what makes it special." He followed the signs to Terminal 2, which had just reopened after a big renovation. The first thing he saw was the Wonderfall, a huge digital waterfall on a giant LED screen. Water seemed to fall from the sky, dancing with lights and music. Alex stood still, watching it in awe. "It looks real, but it's not," he said with a smile. The lights changed colors, and the sound of water made him feel like he was in a forest. Walking further, he entered a garden inside the airport. There were real trees, flowers, and even butterflies. "It's like a park, but in an airport," he laughed. He sat down for a moment and breathed in the fresh scent of plants. Changi Airport was more than just beautiful. It was also fast and easy. Immigration took only a few minutes. The officers were polite, and everything was very clean and well organized. Since he had a few hours before his next flight, Alex checked into the Crown Plaza Changi Airport Hotel, right inside the terminal. The room had a big window facing the runway. He lay on the bed and watched planes take off, one after another. "This doesn't feel like a layover," he said. "It feels like a vacation." Before boarding his next flight, Alex bought a cup of iced coffee and one last look at the Wonderfall. He smiled, took a deep breath, and walked to his gate. Next stop, Seoul. Alex's plane landed in Seoul, South Korea, just as the sun was rising. He looked out the window and saw the morning light shining on the glass walls of Incheon International Airport. "This is the third best airport in the world," Alex said to himself. "Let's find out what makes it special." As he entered the terminal, he noticed something different. There were many signs for families with children, colorful arrows pointing to play areas, baby rooms, and family lounges. He passed a small playground near Gate 25. Children were laughing and sliding while their parents relaxed nearby. "That's smart," Alex thought. "Traveling with kids is hard. This makes it easier." In a family lounge, he saw cozy chairs, baby-changing stations, and even small beds where toddlers could nap. The space was quiet and clean, with soft lighting and cartoons playing on a TV. Alex smiled. "This airport really cares about people," he said, "not just travelers, but families too." He stopped by a cafe and ordered a warm honey citron tea, a local favorite. Sitting near a window, he watched a family of 4 check in for their flight. the kids holding teddy bears, the parents chatting with staff who smiled and bowed politely. Everything at Incheon felt easy. The signs were clear, the staff were kind, and the technology was smooth. Even the security check had a special line for parents with strollers. Before leaving, Alex took a moment to walk through the cultural experience zone. There, he saw a group of travelers trying on hanbok, traditional Korean clothing, and taking photos in front of a small temple-style set. This airport is not just about flying, he thought. It's about feeling at home. With his backpack on and a full heart, Alex headed toward his gate. Next stop, Tokyo. The airplane touched down gently in Tokyo. From his window seat, Alex could already sense the city's quiet order and modern beauty. His first stop was Haneda Airport, close to the city center. As he walked through the terminal, one thing stood out immediately: cleanliness. The floors sparkled, and even the trash bins looked spotless. Everything here feels perfect, he whispered. The layout of the airport was simple and easy to follow. There were helpful signs in Japanese, English, Chinese, and Korean. Staff members in uniforms stood ready to guide passengers with kind smiles and polite bows. Alex didn't have much time at Haneda, but the smooth experience left him impressed. If I lived in Tokyo, this would be my favorite airport, he thought. The next day, Alex visited Narita International Airport, Tokyo's larger international hub. It was farther from the city, but full of charm and warmth. Inside Terminal 1, he saw something special: a replica of the Nihonbashi Bridge, which was once the starting point of Japan's ancient roads. The bridge stood tall with wooden beams and traditional lamps. He crossed it slowly, imagining himself as a traveler from the past. Only in Japan would you find history inside an airport, he smiled. Narita was also known for its customer service. Staff helped travelers with everything, from lost bags to train tickets. Even when Alex asked about local snacks, a kind woman walked him to the nearest shop and explained each item. He bought a box of Tokyo banana cakes and a small Daruma doll for good luck. Before leaving, Alex sat down near a window and watched a plane preparing for takeoff. Tokyo has two faces, he thought. Haneda is clean and fast. Narita is warm and cultural. I'm lucky to see both. With that, he stood up, stretched, and checked his flight details. Time to fly home, he said, feeling a little sad the journey was coming to an end. But something told him the story wasn't quite over yet. Alex sat by the window, looking out at the clouds. The plane was flying high, over 30,000 feet in the sky. It was quiet, and most passengers were sleeping. He took a sip of water and leaned back in his seat. As the plane glided through the night, Alex began to think about the airports he had visited. Doha was full of golden glass, he whispered to himself. It felt like a palace. The lamp bear was strange, but I liked it. Everything was smooth, fast, and peaceful. He smiled, remembering the moment he first walked into the airport. Then he thought about Singapore. That digital waterfall, the Wonderfall. I've never seen anything like it, he said. And those gardens made me forget I was even in an airport. He tapped his fingers on the armrest. Changi wasn't just beautiful. It made travel feel calm, like a walk in nature. Next came Seoul. Incheon really understands families, Alex thought. The play areas, the quiet lounges, the warm staff. I saw kids smiling and parents relaxing. That's rare in airports. And then Tokyo. 2 airports, 2 different worlds, he said softly. Haneda was clean and perfect. Narita was full of kindness and tradition. That bridge, it made me feel like I was in a history book. He looked out the window again. The stars were twinkling far above. Alex reached into his backpack and pulled out a small notebook. He flipped to a blank page and wrote one sentence. The journey doesn't start with a flight. It starts at the airport. He smiled, closed the notebook, and whispered, "Where should I go next? Maybe Istanbul, or Munich, or maybe back to Tokyo in the spring. Wherever it would be, he now knew that the airport wasn't just a stop. It was the beginning of the story.